Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be my first Skype game of 2013. So because of that, it'll be 2013 points, and it's going to be my Wood Elves up against some Dark Elves. So in this game here, we have Canada up against England, and what the guy there in England wanted to try out was a Dark Elves list. Now, this is something where he just wanted to try out the list. I don't even own them, so I have to proxy them in. And so what we have going on here is the Stegodons on the left. Those are going to be the Hydras. The next unit, the Night Goblin Archers, are actually going to be the Repeater Crossbowmen. And there he has a level 2 with the Dark Magic. Then he has a big unit of Dark Elf Warriors, and there he has a BSB. Then he has a unit of 20 Blackguard. Behind them, another smaller unit of 15 warriors, and in there he has his level 4 with Shadow and Dagger and all that fun stuff. And then on the far right, he has 2 units of Harpies. For my side, what I really have is 2 units of 10 Glade Guard, 3 units of 5 Glade Riders, and then 3 units of 10 Glade Riders that have a Banner and Musician. And in the middle one there, I have a BSB that's going to have the Hail of Doom, and then I also have in there my level 4 that's going with Life that has a Scroll and the Ruby Ring. I also have some 7 Way Watchers that you don't see them here yet, but they're going to be around the wood there in the center. Just to kind of go over the mission here, we got regular battle lines, so nothing crazy. As you can see that there's 2 woods here. The one on the left, the fish tank one, that's my free wood. The wall up at the top there is a wall. He has a fence down here. There's a Grail Chapel in the center, and then on the far right, that's kind of one of that settlements of order. And there's 2 buildings, and at the very top of the corner there, there's another Grail Chapel. So the Grails will be somewhere here, I'm sure. Really going into this game, I posted this up on Warseer, and people were pretty split which way this is going to go. In one way, I can just run around him and shoot him, and he has a bunch of toughness 3 with hardly any saves, so I should be able to score a lot of easy points as long as I focus on a unit. The things that I don't have going for me is just the fact that his magic can be really deadly in his Hydras. It's so hard to do anything to the Hydras, and they're so fast, and I mean, even if they don't get to combat, they can do their breath weapons. So that will be pretty scary as well. And then what he has in his level 2 in the Crossbowman is a Guiding Eye, so he gets to reroll the shoot. So if they get to shoot something, that unit's just going to disappear. So I'll have to be very careful there. One thing that they were wondering is how magic was going to go. When I rolled it up, I didn't actually get Dwellers, so I won't be able to go for any caster kills that way. But on his side, his level 2 with the Dark Magic got the 2 magic missiles, so that's pretty good for him there, and that's going to be pretty scary. And then his level 4 got Enfeebling, blah blah blah, and Pit of Shades. So really what my real goal here is, at first I thought I'd be focusing on the Crossbowmen, but they went a little bit farther back, so I think I'm going to focus on the Blackguard first, and then as soon as I can, as soon as they're a threat, you can bet that everything's going to go into those Crossbowmen, including Hail of Doom, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. And here's just a little close-up of my guys here. I just use Bretonnian Prophetess to be my level 4. There's no real good mounted Wood Elf characters right now. I hope they come out with some, but this is what I just use for now. Because, I mean, in the lore, you know, it kind of works anyway, that maybe they're training up this Prophetess right now, or whatever. And here's just a picture of his side. Not really showing anything off per se, but just a thing where, you know what, even if I don't own the army, it really doesn't matter, right? We all have the army books, and then as long as you have the models that are at least the right size, and then even better if you have something that's armed the same, you know, okay, well, I mean, I don't have anything with repeater crossbows, but I got short bows. Whatever, it's all good. And then this is a fast one here, just showing about how my Way Watchers are now in this forest here. So he gets first turn. For the most part, the things move up, except for the Crossbowmen that decide to take positions at the wall, and I think that's great, because then they're, you know, still farther back. In the magic phase, he starts, you know, throwing out a couple of small things. Only thing of worry was the one template there, the Pit of Shades. He tried doing the Way Watchers, but it fell off. One thing I should say is that when I went into those woods, that's a blood wood. So if you get magic cast on you, then you take D6 strength 4 hits, and the woods move around. So I probably want to get out of there as fast as possible. My turn 1, I thought it'd be a little bit more effective, but really well, all I did was kind of shift more to the right and then started shooting into him. So you can see that I killed 7 of the blackguard, also went and killed, let's see, 1 of the warriors there in the back. But for the most part, I just try and shooting out a couple of fireballs of their Awakening of the Wood. The only thing I really got off this turn that lasted the whole game was I got the Thrown off. His turn 2, now that he has seen that he's not really getting any shots off, he went and he marched up his crossbowmen just to actually get something done. He's really just trying to get to me as fast as he can, but of course I have pretty much the whole right flank open, and something that I didn't really cover, but maybe you probably saw it anyway. I mean, those harpies weren't really much of a bother, so the first turn they tried doing some sort of charges on the Glade Guard. They failed, got 1 shot down. Then on my turn, I shot them down to 1 model each. 1 ran off, and then in this turn, the last one went into my flank, and my Way Watchers killed 1, and I killed him off. So really, I have the whole right flank completely open, so I can go running around. Sure, it looks like he's close, and it'll mean that some of my stuff can't sneak by, but hopefully next turn I'll be killing the Blackguard anyway. This turn, though, he was able to get off the 1 magic missile that killed 4 of my... you see the second unit, or the last horse unit to the left, and so they also can't shoot next turn as well. My turn 2 then, and now I'm really starting to get some points here. I wipe out the Blackguard, and I start doing more to the warriors here, and I'm just loving this. He was kind of surprised, going, oh man, I guess that's Wood Elf shooting, but especially once you get close and you're hitting on 3s, things just disappear. So he does have a couple of possible charges, but it's going to be fairly long. But for the most part, I really like this, and then in future turns, I should be able to kill off the warriors and then go to the crossbowmen in the back. His turn 3 then, his Hydra tries to charge but fails, and then otherwise his stuff is just kind of moving up. But the thing that kind of killed me was that his 1 unit of warriors went into the Grail Chapel in the center. This is something I don't know why I hadn't considered at all, and that's going to be a problem now, because that means unless I really focus fire, I won't be able to get those points. So that was unfortunate. The only good thing is that with all of his magic and the little bit of shooting he was able to do to my Way Watchers, I think he was able to kill 1 Way Watcher with that same spell where if you do 1 then you can't shoot, but that's really it. So definitely not too bad so far from what I've been taking from his magic, given that he has 2 magic missiles. My turn 3 then, and really my objective here was just to wipe out those crossbowmen. The problem is that there's only so many units I could get over there if I didn't want to risk a charge from his larger warrior unit. So that's what I do. I pop my Hail of Doom, and you can see that now they're down to 4 and the mage. So looking pretty good there. I've pretty much consigned my left unit of archers to die. That's what kind of happens with these guys anyway. It's just 120 points, so it's not that bad. They tried to shoot in just to try and, if I can do just 1 wound to a Hydra, it's good just to try and reduce the strength of the breath attack, but nothing there. His turn 4, and yeah, this is where things start turning a little bit south. The problem here is that he got 6 dice, double 6 for his dice, so he got the full 12. And then I just got decimated. I think it was in the previous turn I had already used my scroll, and so I couldn't stop everything coming my way. He reduced my initiative and then hit me with a Pit of Shades, the larger version, and so my noble survived, but a whole bunch of the unit died. The level 4 died, so I don't have any magic anymore, and he also scored the 100 points for killing the general. And then as well, he went and for what's left, used Guiding Eye, killed a few more. So yeah, this unit is kind of nerfed. I can't regrowth this stuff anymore. And yeah, that's a big chunk of points for him. Otherwise, his 1 Hydra went into my Glade Guard on the left. They're all dead. The other one went over to do its flame attack to the unit of 5, and luckily I had 1 survive, so holding on to the points there. And yeah, for the most part, that's pretty much it. I mean, his warriors are trying to wheel around, but I'm not really worried about them too much at this point. The big thing I'm worried about is that this is where I'm really starting to lose points, and even though I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the crossbowman and the level 2, I don't think I'm going to be getting anything else, so I have to make sure that I have to be very careful. So my turn 4, that's what I do. I just pretty much pump all my shooting into them and I wipe them out. So there's some nice little points. And then I throw a little bit into the building because, I might as well try. Who knows, maybe I can get rid of the unit. But, I think I kill one or two or not much at all, really. So his turn 5, there's not much he can do because most of his stuff, I mean, what can he do? His only unit with breath weapon, he's farther back. But the big way he's getting his points is actually going after with that Bloodwood. So first, I mean, I'm trying to stop his spells, but it's hard when he has a level 4 and I have a level 0. But he gets off a Hex onto my archers. That then makes the Bloodwood go kill a couple. It shifts over, so it's in my unit of 6 Glade Riders as well. He gets another spell off, so it attacks them. Again, I'm down now just to 2 Riders, and then the Riders fail their panic test, flee, but only flee 2 inches, and then the wood moves so that they're inside it again. So that's bad news for me, because of course he can just do the whole thing next turn and then probably kill them. But this picture here is actually on my turn. I just might as well put this all together into one. And really all I did then is kind of lined up, and I tried to get the points from the building. So I shot into there, really only killed 3. And so, I mean, this just isn't going to happen. But the main thing I'm trying to do here is still just try and conserve points, and then just setting it up so I can be doing double fleas whenever the Hydra goes after me. So his turn, last turn, that's what he does. He gets a spell off here, and so the Bloodwood eats the last 2 riders here. And I mean, that's a good chunk of points. So his turn 6, again, really all he did was try to charge in with the Hydra. I fled. He redirected into the Way Watchers. I fled. The 1 warriors charged the Glade Guard. I fled, redirected into the Glade Riders, the far right ones they could see. I just stand and shot because he needed double 6s. He obviously didn't make it. And then we already said in his magic phase he killed those Glade Riders. And really when it came to my side, I looked at it, there's no way I could score any points, so we just called it here. Alright, so when we added up the points, first it looked like it was going to be a win for him, but that's because I forgot the the Blackguard. Once you put the Blackguard in there, I was actually up by 74 points. So a tie, not quite enough for a win. But the big thing here is, oh, damn this Bloodwood. In all the games I've played, the Bloodwood has done pretty much 0. It's never really been a factor whatsoever. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's even come up once. And all of a sudden this game, it was a major factor. I mean, really I should have tried to stay out of it, but it was just the way that it was placed with those archers. The archers would have been in it pretty much for sure. I mean, the big thing too, remember, is that I deploy my whole army before he deploys, just so I'm kind of set up for the Skype game. It's not the regular back and forth. And so, in my first thinking, I didn't know if he was going to be setting up his crossbowman over on the far right side, and then he might be shooting at me, right? So I wanted some cover. But then, of course, just the way it worked, where it moved, ate my guys, what can you do? So, I mean, the picture here, this is my noble basically going up to the tree going, like, what the fuck? What's going on, tree? We're wood elves. Why are you attacking us? But either way, it was an interesting game. One of those ones you have to be playing pretty carefully with. And one of the things I had to ask my opponent at the end is, how did it work with the Skype game? Because really, whenever you play a wood elf army like this, being able to have an understanding of what the distances are and the angles and all that is critically important. And he said, it was a little bit difficult, but it wasn't too bad. So that's good to hear. The other thing I made sure is, as much as I like playing my Wood Elf army, there's a lot of people that, of course, get really frustrated with it, right? Because you can go the entire game without doing a single combat. One of the things I'd actually done for this game is actually kind of picked Wood Elves on purpose. There's another Skype game I'll be doing next week, where I was going to be using my Wood Elves, but when he sent me his list, he was doing Warriors of Chaos. And so I looked at that matchup, I said, screw that, I'm not going to do that. This fella here from England, he sent me his list, he was doing Dark Elves, which had the double Hydras and the shooting and all this stuff, and I thought, you know what, let's shift over and use the Wood Elves here. So it's a little bit of, me designing my list around my opponent, but it was actually designing it to make more of a fair matchup. And I think it worked out pretty good. You know, sure, I got to shoot up some blackguard and stuff, and there wasn't much he could do there, but I think the biggest thing that he probably could have done that would have helped a lot better is not double up on the Hydras on the one side, because it wasn't too much that really was going to give him. If he would have put one Hydra on either flank and then ran his infantry down the center, I think that would have worked a lot better. But hey, either way, it was a fun game, and I hope you guys liked watching it. Okay, bye.